Welcome to the Athletepreneur Podcast, where we talk about the playbook for life after sports. My name is Steven Yee. I'm your host. Today we have a special guest. He was an all-state guard in high school. He went to Westerville South High School, led the school in scoring, went to the University of Wisconsin, led him to 2 Final Four appearances, had a brief stint in the NBA G League, and then he finished his career overseas. Now he's mentoring the youth and athletes all around the country. So please help me welcome Traevon Jackson.
Thank you, sir. It's great to see
What's
you, man.
up, brother?
It's tough that you got to read off from me, though. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, I don't have those accolades, so that's the reason why we're doing it.
No,
So as we get started, do you mind if we watch some of your college highlights?
Yeah, let's do it.
Just a few clips. So
They don't even play there no more.
took down Penn State at Penn State.
Yeah, man. That was back when they had some good guys, too.
I seen that in the open run. That shot fake. Yep.
I don't know how I got that ball off, though. I hit probably 4 or 5 game winners.
Against Michigan State too.
Mm-hmm. I think that's one of their best teams that didn't win the championship. They went to the Final Four, but they didn't win.
That's my favorite part. Trae Jackson strikes again.
This is the tough one, though.
Yeah.
Because I for sure in my mind was like, yeah, this is going in. But Drew, I ended up playing with Drew in the G League too. He did a little slick hand tap. If you see it, boom, I kind of kicked my feet a little bit, and I was like, But you know what's funny is we played them the next year. The same exact scenario came back up again.
Really?
This Final Four.
And you guys beat them.
We beat them, but before that, Drew's brother, Aaron, he hit the shot to go up. He had the same exact situation the next year. He missed it in the Final Four. So it was real. Cycles, man.
So that's what I want to kind of talk about, right? Like you go from hitting big game winners against Penn State, Minnesota, Michigan State, and a few others, and it looks like you're about to hit another one against Kentucky in the Final Four, and it rims out, right? Big stage. I feel like more people watch the college Final Four and the NCAA championship more than they actually watch the NBA stuff.
Yeah.
What were you going through? What were you thinking about when that shot rimmed off the rim?
Well, when it initially happened, I was excited because I was like, oh, this is about to be another game winner. I used to visualize in my mind like me hitting game winners and winning a game. And so when Aaron hit the shot, I remember coming back to the bench like, we've done this before. I know the exact move I'm going to do. I'm going to do it between cross hezzy, full speed coming down the left, because we used to work on it in practice.
Mm-hmm.
So I would practice my move. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to do the same exact move. And when I did it, everything was there was no doubt in my mind I was going to make it. But Drew ended up like the slightest of taps. It's like when you're shooting in that moment, when I rose up, that's when he hit my wrist. When I rose up, not when I shot it, but it was like when on the rise up, and just that little bit of thought made me feel like in my mind I literally said that's off, and then it hit the backboard, and I said, oh, maybe in, and then it rolled. And I said, and so it was tough. I was in disbelief because a lot went into that year that I just knew for sure we were going to win. I didn't believe it. I was in like shock. Like it didn't feel real because that whole run was an out of body experience for our whole program, our whole team at that time period.
What's it like when you go through that, right? Like you're on a big stage and, if you watch further down in the clip, right after you miss the shot, Coach Ryan comes, taps you on the butt, and you're like, your head's down, your teammate comes and grabs and hugs you. Like, all of a sudden now you got all the media sticking a microphone in your face. Like, what's that like going through that?
It was tough. I remember, I'm golden skinned now, so you know what I mean. But at that time I was a little lighter, and you could see in my eyes and my face how much I was crying. And I had to do an interview with my dad at the time, which he was working for Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had this interview, and he kind of consoled me at the time period, and we talked. But I remember going to the locker room, and locker room was somber. everything like that. I was expecting Coach to come in and be like, great season, guys. This is how it is. Coach said, good season, but he went straight to telling us why we lost. That was just Coach. It was one time we ever lost, maybe two, because I think the Duke game. I don't remember as much of the Duke game, but Syracuse, when we lost to Deion Waiters my freshman year, I watched. I didn't play. Jordan Taylor was playing. That team, he said, we lost, and he said, you know what? Great season, guys. We overachieved. And every other time after that we lost, it was like great job, but this is why. That was just Coach. That was just him. So, it was tough. It was tough. And for me, it was even more tougher because I knew I had a decision to make. And my decision was, am I going to leave? Am I going to go out of the draft? And at this time, I was projected like late second round. And this is 2014 where you don't just leave like that. Like this was kind of the transitional period. The only guy that left early that didn't really play, he had a lot of acumen, which was like Kelly Oubre. Mm-hmm. He left after a year. Like guys like that were McDonald's All-Americans. They were top 10. He averaged like 4 or 5 points at Kansas and then left. I'm like, in my mind, I'm not no Kelly Oubre. Like I can't do it. But that whole offseason, I had prepared, this is the year I'm going to leave.
Right.
So now my mind automatically starts thinking about what do I got to do next. And back then you used to have to go give some type of sheet from the NBA PA or something to your head coach to do it. So I had to go through that. And as I'm walking in, Frank's walking in at the same time. I'm like, you got your paper? He's like, yeah, I got my paper too. And I walk into Coach. Coach like, he's like, what you doing? I was like, what you mean what I'm doing? I'm trying to, he's like, I can tell you what they're saying about you. You're not going to get drafted. And I was like, well, I'm hearing different, right? And that was kind of the whole thing as well too. But understanding from Coach's standpoint, that was my hottest, like quote unquote, time period. You got to go when you're hot. And but he looking at it like, bro, we just went to the Final Four. What you mean? Let's get back. Let's go. Like, you know what I mean? I was already, and then, so it was either like go to Chris Paul's camp, which I ended up doing, go to these different things, or come back. And I was like, or go out for the draft and stuff. And so it was a lot. My mind automatically went to that.
Got it.
Transition from here to what's next in life. Like, that makes sense?
Right.
Like,
so you do come back for a senior season, and you guys go on a tear.
Yeah, we do.
Yep. I think you guys won like 16 straight, right? Something crazy like that. And then you had 25 against Duke in the preseason, killed them, took a loss to them. And then you end up seeing Kentucky in the Final Four again, beat them this time, and then end up playing Duke again and losing. You had an injury that put you out for a little bit, and you lose your starting spot, and you play a reserve role in the tournament. What was that like going, I started for the last 2-3 years. Now I'm taking a back seat when I'm on this tournament run. And not only that, going further than you guys have ever gone because you guys go to the championship game, but you also lose in that sense. Like, what was that like adjustment-wise for you?
It was hard because I knew why I got hurt, that I couldn't just just basically just go tell the trainer or go tell the staff, this is what, I was dealing with a lot of internal struggle at that time. So I have to go back to even how we even got to this run to even allow what I'm about to say to make sense. So when I originally went to Wisconsin, it was between Wisconsin and Arizona State. I always wanted to go out west. I always did. UCLA was my favorite school, played there in 9th grade. They sent me a letter. I'm like, I'm going. Right. Didn't do enough in high school to get there, so Arizona State was the next level. I'm about to go there. I call my coach at the time, my high school coach, let him know, Coach Ryan somehow gets wind of this. He calls me, here, you're about to commit to Arizona State. And I'm like, how did you know this? I didn't tell nobody at the time. It was just the girlfriend I had at the time, and then maybe my mentor at the time was my coach. And he's like, they got a lot of guards. And at the time, Jordan Taylor was playing at Wisconsin. He was the top point guard in the nation. So he's telling me everything I want to hear. Coach Ryan is. So I was like, all right, Big Ten, close to home in Ohio, I can play. And I remember, I never forget, my dad telling me, like, you sure you want to do this? Like, because he doing the Big Ten Network. He knows how they play.
Right.
He knows how I like to play. Two totally different styles. You know, he's like, all right. Because at the time, I wasn't really as allowing him to be like a father, basically. I was trying to, you know, come into that age where, you know, it's my stuff. So this is important to understand going into senior year. So I come in, nothing that I thought it was going to be, right? Nothing at all. Another point guard committed with me. His name is George Marshall. He's one of the top guards coming up. And I'm pretty much buried on the depth chart. And there was a guy, Trey Burke. We grew up together. We won a national championship together in AAU. Played together since like 4th grade. He's taken off at this time. He got all my
at Michigan.
Yeah, he's got all my accolades that I wanted. He ended up getting Mr. Basketball. Everything I wanted, he got. Like literally, I used to I literally wrote down the vision of what I wanted senior year. He got everything. And they beat us in the final game to go to the Final Four in high school. And off of that game, whoever won that game would have got it.
Oh.
He got it. You see what I'm saying? So it was like, oh, man. So anyways, I bring all this up, not to make it super long, but I got to give context to it, is who he was working out with. I was like, yo, I need to – how did you get good? Like, how did this happen? He was in this program with this trainer, and everything he talked about was like life and God and basketball, and everybody that came with him was successful. Everybody. He had like 50 guys in the group, and everybody had scholarships. Wow. Every single person. And so I started working out with him, but I wasn't really committed, right? I'm working out for basketball, but you can get away from me with that guy stuff.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I hear you, but I'm trying to go to the league.
Right.
And I'm in Wisconsin. And you know, Wisconsin, 50,000, you can have some fun up there. If you're the athlete, basically. You know, so that's the case. And so I'm wilding. And then I sophomore year, come to a realization point, like, man, if I don't get my life together, I ain't going to be able to stay up here. Pretty much. Like, because I'm good, but I'm not that good. Like, I knew that. And I hit the trainer up and was like, yo, I'm really trying to do this. Like, what I got to do to take the next step in life. So that year, I made a commitment, or like what people call like a covenant to God. Like, I was like, God, like, I'll do this. I'll do everything for you. Or I'll hoop if you just help me get my goal. Like, it was like a real like agreement. He showed me how to do it. And he was training me to represent God the right way. So all the things that happened junior year, we literally prayed for. We asked for. So then me and you were talking before this, you were like, you know, bring it to the huddle, right? So like during open gym, we would bring to the huddle and we would always say like Wisconsin or Badgers or Big Ten champs. And I'm not the guy yet. I'm not the starter. I'm not none of this yet. So you got to put that into context. I'm not that. I'm the guy that played sophomore year, but it's not really – I played out of necessity. Guys got injured, doors open, but I'm not really – you see what I'm saying? It's like it's shaky. Best to describe it. So me coming in here totally changed. Not the pre-gamer. Like they're like, yo, who are you? And so when I say certain things, there's pushback because we don't know you as like that. We know you as this. So some guys accepted it. Some guys, the young guys was like, we'd never seen you like that. So it was a mix, right? The guys that was with me, and then we had young guys, Nigel, Bronson, all these good guys come in. So half and half of the team was there. But as the season went on, I kept doing what I was doing. I became the leader of the team. Frank's balling, Sam's balling. We went in. The belief is there. The next year we come in, oh, we know what to do now. It's easy. And I'm getting upset because all of the things I'm asking for is starting to happen. But it's not happening for me. It's happening for my teammate. And this is the part about sports that I'm so big on now with guys is what's the purpose of why you want to do what you want to do? In my mind, the only way I could get to the league, the only way I could do certain things, I got to follow the Trey Burke route. He got Player of the Year. He got national champion. It was through him. I seen the blueprint. That's what I want, right? So guess who gets player of the year on our team? Guess who gets all those things? So everything is happening literally for a teammate. And it was a huge lesson for me because I'm upset. And the day before I got hurt, Westbrook was dominating at that time. I don't know if you remember Westbrook. He was out there just doing all that. And in my mind, I said, I literally called. I said, God, you know what? Bump that. I'm going to just play angry, and I'm going to just do this. And that's what I embraced. So then I go out into the game, boom, break my foot.
Dang.
And nobody else knows what's going on besides the trainer and things like that. But I know. And it's like I had a real moment in time, like, I understand cause and effect. What you put in is what you get out. Like, bro, I gave you this platform, not for you to take it and leave without me. Now, I'm not saying God just made me get hurt.
Right.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying I stepped out, and when you step out, stuff like that, who knows the situations that you can get back. So that was tougher for me to even articulate at the time. I'm 20. I'm going to articulate this to people.
Right.
Like, we're here for college. We ain't talking about this stuff. Like, you know
right.
what I mean? That was that whole part. And I had a redemption moment trying again throughout the year and stuff like that. So
you know what's crazy is I was just talking to a buddy of mine about this. Is like you pray to God and ask for certain things, and we don't like how it's delivered.
Literally. Literally. My superpower, a guy used to call me Derek Fisher. I hated it. I said, you're right. I'm way better than Derek Fisher. I got Rob. He's like, no, you're not hearing me. Kobe never won without D-Fish. I need you to see what he did. He was the leader. That's his intangible. I know you can do that, but your superpower is this. I wanted my superpower to be the bucket getter.
Right.
That's not my superpower. My superpower is I can score when I need to. I can pass when and that was me. That's what separated me. But I ain't want it like that.
Right.
I wanted it the way I wanted it. You
right.
know what I mean? That's the putting the whole thing into a box. So it's real that you say that.
Because it's crazy how many people, you look at the NBA, when I was talking to a buddy of mine, he was like.
Well, let me say this real quick. I apologize. I didn't mean to cut you off. Keys hold that thought. In no way am I saying Frank did his thing. Let me make that very clear. Frank did his thing. He deserved everything he got, and I'm the biggest supporter of him. At that time, though, I knew what was helping us. Let me just say it like
right.
that. It was helping the opportunities and the things like that. I'm not the proponent out here saying I'm the reason why I'm not doing that.
Right. No.
That clear.
But like, here's what I'm trying to say, though, right, is like how many
in our team,
people in the NBA, in the league, make a solid career just running the show.
Just running the show. And at the time, I didn't think that I could have the career that I wanted without scoring. Like, I use Draymond as an example. Draymond's a Hall of Famer,
mm-hmm.
and he's not the focal point of scoring. Like, you can do that. So I didn't value the parts of a team that are integral towards not being just the main scorer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't value that at the time.
The intangibles, the stuff that you can't put on a score sheet.
In my mind, if they looking at the box score, scouts looking at the box score, how they going?
Right.
I didn't see that. But look how many special Hall of Famers are, to this day, because they have those intangibles.
How long do you think it took maturity-wise for you to understand that you can make an impact on the game without scoring?
Until I retired.
Isn't that crazy?
It's till I retired because I still had a vision in my mind that I didn't embrace. Like, I didn't enjoy those runs. I can't really tell you as much. Like, going back, we had a 10-year reunion. And it was so cool to see how much my teammates really loved and spoke about me at the time, because I didn't see myself that way. I always seen myself as a person fighting, get into my spot. It wasn't given. It was like, that whole type of thing. And so to see that, man, we really value your position. Yeah, you weren't our highest leading scorer yet, but we really value you. That to me was like, Dad, I could. And the whole time the trainer telling me like, bro, you understand the show was running because Jordan Taylor should tell me. He used to be like, bro, the team running it because of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like
You're the floor general for a reason.
You're the floor general, bro. Like you got to see that, and I'll be like, I can't see it though. So I didn't value that until I got done, and that's something that I see it so clearly now with young guys when I see who was doing what. I can tell exactly what they're thinking. I'm like, man. So yeah, it took me some time.
I want to piggyback on mentorship in a little bit, but here's a very interesting dynamic that I always ask people about, right? Mm-hmm. So like you were the man at your high school, mm-hmm. so is Frank, so is Sam, so is all the guys on your team. Y'all come together on a team and everybody has an ego. That's why mm-hmm. you're there. How do you guys make it work?
Great question. Being a star in your role, right? There's no issue with everybody having an ego. The issue with you got to have an ego to be successful, like, right? You got to. The issue
a healthy ego.
A healthy one, right? A healthy one. I always like to say ego is ease or enter into God's omnipresence rather than ease God out. Because if we're all at our highest steps, we're all functioning at our highest in our role, we all can eat. We all can eat. So how we did it was I knew my role and I knew my times. My way I scored, push the ball, transition, into the shot clock, open, catch, and shoot. Our bread and butter, Frank, give him the ball every time down possession. Sam, we need you to get in transition, catch and shoot, all these different things. We all had our roles. When a team doesn't have defined roles, that's when those things clash.
Right.
And I clashed at times because I didn't want to accept my role, not realizing, bro, you can have 20 in your role, and he can have 20 in his role, and he can have 20 in his role. Just put in the measure that's required. You guys are good. So it's super important.
And that's what I was going to ask you is like with your teammates. I mean, two of them basically were top draft picks in the NBA the following year. How did you get to the position where you were the one that was taking the last shot multiple times?
Great question. Part of it is because of that, like I told you, that agreement that I made with God. And part of it also, too, was that's the unseen part, behind the scenes. But then in the seen part was I showed myself faithful. We would always work on stuff in practice at the end of the games. And I was always willing to take that shot. Mm-hmm. And our offense was designed to where the point guard had to shoot at the end of the shot clock. It was just designed that way. We ran a continuity type offense. Our last 2 years, we didn't really run the swing. It was swing principles, but it was more movement. And at the end of the play, my specialty on the team was I could create my shot.
Right.
Frank created his shot a lot within the post, but at the end of the game, he's not out dribbling at the top of the key coming off a pick. That was my job. So I was one of the few guys that could really create my shot one-on-one against anybody. And because of that, if you pay attention to NCAA, you need a guard to do that to win. You have to have that to happen at the end of the game because you're not going to be able to run a continuity offense. So that's kind of how I got in that position, just being faithful and Coach Ryan drilling it over and over.
I love that. So your college season ends and you start working out for the draft. Mm-hmm. And then you have a stint in the G League, you go overseas. What was that journey like for you?
Tough, very hard, because I wasn't willing to, again, accept my path, my route. I was trying to skip steps a lot. So I didn't go to the G League till my first year. Didn't go till January, right? I didn't have to. I had offers to go right out of summer league. But in my mind, again, man, I didn't work for this. I didn't ask for this. I didn't prepare for it. I prepared for the league. Like, I'm going to the Lakers. I'm doing, you know what I mean? Bro, you didn't do what you needed to do to reach that level. So take the harvest, take the reward that you have now and build upon it. I didn't get that concept. My concept was all or nothing. It was so extreme. And like looking back on it now, it was like, I tell people this now when I see people do it, like, yo, just build. Like, it's okay to build step by step. And so that made it tough. It was actually a beautiful journey, though. It was so, like, I got so many lessons and so many things. It was so fun. But inwardly, I made it tough just because I didn't embrace the little lessons along the journey. So I took a year and a half off after after my first year in the G League. Again, not out of because I didn't need to. I wouldn't go to camp. I told them no, I'm going to the league. Well, we want you to come to the G League camp so you can go to the league. Like, come on, like let's do this stuff like that. So I had to work my way back in. Lived in LA, and that's why I moved to LA. And out there's runs all the time. Worked my way up from little runs to the Drew League to playing at UCLA. And UCLA has all these pros coming in, right? And that's where I played against Braun, played against Westbrook, PG, all type of guys. And I'm holding my own. And from there, I get another offer to go to the G League. So during all these time periods is when I'm going through all this mental things, and I'm trying to figure out what I need to do. And then that's when I ended up going to Slovakia, which was my best thing that ever happened to me at that time because it's 8 months on the other side of the world where it's just you.
Right.
You don't got, nobody knows what you're doing. Get out of this spotlight, get out of this image or this persona that you created and rebuild yourself and heal, like really heal. And so, and then from there, I was able to build back up. I was able to touch the G League another time, a little bit. Then ended up working out with Milwaukee's organization. Then from there, I went to Sweden. And then COVID hit. Right when I got to like, all right, I figured it out now. COVID hit. And then at that time, I had to decide, do I want to keep playing or not? And it just, I knew it was time. It was like my time was run its course for what I'm wanting to do moving forward. I'm not able to do that. I could, but I'm not able to. I need to fulfill what I said my original commitment, which was be an actual example in this game. And I'm not doing that by just playing. I'm getting better. I'm nice, but move on to the other side. And that's what I ended up doing on the mentorship side, moving over.
And that's what I wanted to kind of talk to you about is like you see so many athletes that struggle with something called identity foreclosure.
Yeah.
And what that means is like you play basketball since you were probably like 4 or 5 years old when you're young, and now you're in your 20s and it's all you know. Basketball was life. Like you're asking yourself, like, what am I without the game? Like, what do I do now?
I had no other skills. Right.
So like, how did you transition? Like, how did you transition from that into the mentoring, and all that stuff?
So, the trainer, he ended up becoming my goddad, meaning like, he was like
the basketball trainer.
Yeah, basketball. Okay. He didn't become like he became like a source of like guidance and light for me and everything I needed. He always told me at the time, if you need something, if you ever need a job, I can show you how to do it whenever you get done playing, and I always have a job for you to do it God's way. He always showed me that. And so when I got done playing, I remembered that, and he introduced me to a guy named Dr. Anthony Rodman. And Dr. Rodman ran a company at the time, and he still runs his companies. And his whole thing was, I remember I was like, man, I remember this is what, the trainer told me, can I work with you? Like, I want to stay in basketball, but can I work with you? And that's when he started teaching me, okay, these are the basic things that you need in life. This is how you can still stay connected within basketball. This is what it's for. And he helped me really get the foundation that I needed to be stable because I didn't know what I was going to do. That and family. Like, right, you got to have some family. You got to have help. And because of that, it helped the transition to where I didn't end up on the street. Now, I'm dismissing everything that's going on from my dad, dismissing everything going on from my mom. And the reason why I'm dismissing that is because it's not that they weren't there to help. They were great. At the time, I felt it was time for me to, 25, 26, I can't go home anymore. Like, I have to move on. Like,
right.
Can't be 30, 28, 29. Mom, I need to come home. Like, you know what I mean? It's time for me to move forward. It's time for me to walk this thing out and live it. And that was during that transition time period that a lot of athletes go through, especially ones that live overseas. If you don't make a lot of money unless you play in EuroLeague, you know what I mean? You don't make, unless you play at high level leagues, you're not making hundreds of thousands. It's not how it is.
And I hear the payments are late.
Payments are always going to be late. Payments are always going to be late.
So you start coaching and mentoring kids, athletes across the country. when did it start becoming fulfilling for you? Because do you feel like you hit your purpose with that, or do you still think there's something more out there?
Oh, there's a lot more. And it's part of the reason why I'm out here, in Vegas. But that was the purity part of it. That's the for God stuff, right? Keep that for God. And training and developing young guys on, even though I can train the craft. I can train how to bring this stuff into the craft. I'll show you where to go to get the God stuff, like the same way I'm going. So I'll train you in basketball, but go over here, right? But for me personally, I had to get myself together, stuff for me, like my basic necessities. And then I had to, in that process of learning all that, the fulfillment came from, I need to live. I need to build something. Like, it's great to have what you need to a house, a car, all those different things. But living, like to live, to have a purpose, and that's the part where I feel with the mentorship and the nonprofit things I'm doing with that, because that part is like I'm building something. You know what I mean? That's the part. And it's never going to feel to the end because there's always going to be levels. I felt content, but not satisfied. That makes sense. Like, content with, okay, I know what I need to do, but not satisfied where I gotta get going. Right. Like, I see it so clearly now. Like, even out here in Vegas, part of the reason why I came out here, there's no culture out here of sports.
Right.
There's none. Everything is, guys aren't that. I'm not gonna let me say it properly.
everything is in California.
Let me see. Yeah.
That's right? The best way to say it.
That's the best way to say it. Yep, and I'll say it the nicer way. Whereas they bring guys in here.
Correct.
But there's no
grassroots.
There's no thing here. There's nothing to be built here. There's nothing. So my goal is I want to bring what we have from Ohio here. The way I seen the trainer run the program, I want to bring that here. And that's what I've been, when I finally got the clarity on how to do it, that's what helped me be content with, okay, let's move forward with it.
You say you want to bring the Ohio in here. And this brings up something that I argue with people on. Mm-hmm. I say East Coast basketball is a lot different than West Coast basketball.
Oh, way different.
And so, like, if you look at the NCAA championships in the last 20 years, there's been one team that's won on the West. You want to know what team that was? UCLA.
Yeah, so about to say
UCLA.
Like
97 or whatever it was, like 96, 97. It's been that long. If you look at all the champions from then on until now, it's been UConn, it's been Duke, it's been Kansas, it's been Carolina, all the Midwest and Eastern teams.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, what do you think it is that separates West Coast basketball to East Coast basketball?
West Coast dudes is super skilled. They don't got this, though. They don't got it. Now, the ones that do got it, I'll say this. The ones that do got this is not saying that they're not tough. It's that balance of knowing how to put the skill in to a structured type of game. Like, because college is all structure. Mm-hmm. And when you get to, it's all structure and discipline. The team that makes the less mistakes and that scores the most, they're going to win. That's all Midwest. That's all East. Like, they're going to, you see those teams that do that. I see Florida won last year, right? So they have a style and a brand of basketball. They was just a more athletic, up more tempo, Big East type team back in the day, right? With a good guard. Remember, Big East teams always had a good
guards,
guard. Yeah. So West Coast teams, like because I don't really watch this college as much now, but you'll see it that the talent, they got the talent. The talent is there. But when it comes to putting that into a team thing, they just haven't been able to crack that code yet.
I think it's a different brand of basketball. I look at it like I wouldn't want to say it's soft.
That's why I tried to not say it.
Because that's what everybody says.
I didn't want to do that to them. Like, I'm not.
No, and that's fair. But like it's when you think of East Coast guards, you think tough nose.
Yep.
Like, I think when you say East Coast guards, I think of like Marbury, Iverson, like tough nose, gonna get thrown on the ground. That's normal, and they expect it to get back up.
They get back up.
You know what I mean? I just don't feel like the West Coast is like that. And in the late, like you said something earlier, in your basketball team, you guys ran an offense where like you would have the ball at the end of the shot clock and you can go create a shot. That's where I feel like in the East Coast game, it's not like the West Coast guys don't have the skill set, but it's like the ball lives in their hands.
Yeah, that's true.
And like in the tournament, everybody knows what you're running. They've had so much tape on you. Like you're gonna need to go off script to go create a basket sometimes, and that's where skills take over.
Yeah, that's absolutely. I agree with that.
So, here's a very interesting question I wanted to ask you. Why do some athletes bomb after their career? Like they don't make it, they revert worse than what they are.
You said mom?
Bomb.
Oh, bomb after their career. It goes back to the identity thing. What'd you call it?
Identity foreclosure?
Yeah, identity foreclosure. It goes back to that. If this is literally my image, my dream, my vision, and I fail in that, right, and I don't hit it, and I don't have skills in anything else, the thing I have to do is I have to admit that this didn't work. And now I have to go back to what people call normal life. And most people aren't willing, that been at a high level. I think maybe we were talking about this, but like very high profile guy, right?
High school phenom,
all that.
Top college, like skips college, goes to the league, like big name,
level.
got out of the hood.
Right.
Now he's like worse than he started.
Because you, one, don't understand the simple foundational laws of life that everybody has to go work and serve. As athletes, everything was handed to you. Well, if it's not handed to you and you're not working, just go find somewhere to go work. Well, I don't want to do that. That's, I'm him.
They're above it.
Man, you don't understand the people that you're trying to go model this game at. You don't know what Adam Silver did to get to that position. You don't know what these owners did. They worked. So if you want to go do something that is not in basketball, you have to go work. If you just go work, you'll be stable. Like most people don't do that. And then from what you do within your work, what do you do with the income that you have to take care of your basics? So stop trying to live this lifestyle. So that's the main things I've seen is dudes don't want to go work. They want to, be a commentator or be a coach or be a this. You're not going to get that much unless you're coaching an NBA team or unless you're on NBC. It's only so many spots. So go work. Well, I don't know if I want to do that. Okay. Well, then you're going to struggle.
Because they live off their name and what their name can give them.
Literally. And, you can only – there's only a few guys that can do that for so long. Or guys that were smart with their money that when they did have that money. You didn't make it like that. It ain't going to last forever. It's not going to last. So
right. What are some things you learned in basketball that probably transitioned and helped into your post-career?
Oh, so much. Teamwork. Of course, you got to work together with a team. Listening to what someone says, not how they say it. So when coaches,
chewing you out
and doing all this, listen to what he's saying, not how he says it. It taught me about agreements. Right? Remember, I kind of told you going into the situation in Wisconsin, I was blinded by desire rather than sitting and saying, okay, what am I actually going to deal with? So when I got there, I felt blindsided, but it was in my face the whole time. I just didn't want to see it. So it taught me about, being slow to make agreements. It taught me about a lot of perseverance that, there's so much that's possible when you seem like you're at the dark end of the tunnel. There's always a way out. There's always a way to escape. It taught me that the best thing about sports is that I've finally been able to embrace in life is the reason why I like basketball is because you can always get better. You can always get better. There's just something about going to the gym and just getting better. If you can apply that to life, life is actually beautiful. It's fun. But if you can't apply that, then it's kind of just what am I doing?
What's some advice that you would give young athletes that don't understand the maturity yet? What are some heads up that you can pass over to them?
A lot, but the biggest thing I would say is why are you you have to know why you're doing what you're doing, right? And I always you have to know everything came from something. That's the best way I can describe it. So if you want to be successful at something, find out what is the infrastructure? What is the laws of how to be successful in this? And behind every law, there's a purpose. There's a why. Behind every purpose, there is a creator of that purpose. So if you ask those questions, you'll have a blueprint that'll help you know, okay, well, if I do this, like for basketball, the purpose of the game is to put the ball into the hoop. But why do they have these big platforms to play it in? You can go put the ball in the hoop at the YMCA. Why do you put it at the NBA? Because it's a platform that's designed to help everybody else out there in the world have their time period, come spend their money, put these wagers down, do all this stuff. So there's a reason, there's a way you have to represent yourself. There's a way you have to do certain things. So if I know that that's the case, okay, so what's the best way to do that? What's the best way to the ones who do it the best will be the what? The most successful. So if I understand that from a younger age, now I can train the game, but I can also train for the position, the platform, the things that come with the game. And that'll get you into so many doors because I understand how to do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's the best type of thing I would do. I would tell somebody.
You said that your goddad basically was a big mentor in your game. Like he not just only helped you in the actual skills aspect, but taking it beyond that, the mental, the God factor. One of the craziest things that I always talk to our sales teams about is I go, you can either pay for experience or you pay with experience. And what I mean by that is like I see so many people lack the ability to go find a mentor and pay for them because it costs money.
It does.
It ain't free.
It costs.
But they're going to help you and get you so much further in what you're trying to do by giving you the blind spots ahead of time rather than you go make the mistakes that actually cost you a lot more money. I feel like in the professional sports setting, most people, maybe golfers, but I don't know many basketball players that have a mental coach. And you look at it like this. You pay someone for your skills training. You have all these guys, Chris Brickley, Drew Hanlon, all these guys that are literally your skills trainer. But what about the mental stuff? Because that's where the game is played. Can you talk about how, having your goddad and a mentorship can shortcut?
Oh, what? Everything, right? It's everything. And I mean to cut you off, but like what you just described, the experience thing that you just described is what I like to say as wisdom, right? I would rather learn through wisdom, through telling me the right steps to go through than trying to figure out without knowing what to go do. Sometimes as you go through it, you'll learn it, you'll get understanding. But wisdom is saying this is the best way to go. This was my experience. Like you just said, experience. This was my experience. This was the best. Follow these steps. And so many guys are having the wrong experiences or the wrong wisdom or the wrong mentors. And you have to be able to find the right people that are trying to go where you're trying, or that have been where you're trying to go, right? And then from there, you gotta decipher, you gotta discern what did they do right that worked, what did they not do right? Because too many guys be like, I just want to follow exactly like. Well, you can't duplicate somebody else. You can duplicate what they did, but you are your own unique person. So you can take from what they did, glean from them, but you ultimately got to decide. So, like, it's super important on the mental side. Most people don't know Mike had a mental coach. Michael Jordan, he had a mental guy that he worked with, that he would sit down and process the game and do things with. And then understanding why, right? I'm big on the whys. What is the reason behind you getting all this mental work? Where is it supposed to lead you to? What's the end goal of this? Is it just to get this result, or is there a purpose attached to it? You know what I mean? Like, you can get all these points. Like Dirk won a championship. He said he felt empty right after, right? He did all the techniques. So what's the why to it, too? It can't just be just mental. It has to be mental that comes attached to something. If you do that, you'll be straight. You know what I mean? But you definitely need it, for sure.
It's funny you say that because A.J. Brown, I posted last year after they won the Super Bowl that he woke up the next day and he felt like it was a normal day. And it's fascinating because so many people that are successful, whether it's in business and life, whatever it is, in sports, they set goals to get to this level, to get to the league, to get to the NFL, to get to a certain dollar amount. And then when they reach that, they're like, now what?
Now what? Well, it's simple. Like, you can achieve stuff, and I love what you were talking to me about off camera. You can, because of who we are and the ability that we have as creators, right? We can create our lives. There's certain things that are just here in this realm that like you can do and you can create a result from it. But if it doesn't have love in it, and it doesn't have any connection to the above in it, it's just like it has no root. It has no long standing. And this is why I always say there's some championship teams that are way more impactful than other championship teams. Like I could probably can't name the championship team from 3 years ago or in the NCAA, but you can name that Duke Leitner team. You can name because they had a different type of impact. They had a different type of, and you have to. That's the thing with so important is heavy. It's so heavy in society today, or just in times today, where everybody's like, you know, you gotta create, you gotta do this, but why? Like, what's the reason about the why? So that you don't feel empty. That emptiness stuff comes when you just take it, but don't do the whys behind it.
Do you think a lot of it is the people you're around? And what I mean by that is like they don't get mentorship because they got to pull their boy up with them. Yeah. They got to bring their family, their uncle with them. And now they become their financial guy. They become their – but, like, those people haven't ever done it.
And they didn't make the choice that you made. It's cool if they made the choice that you made to go with you. But if they didn't make the choice that you made, now they're like – what do they call them? Liabilities. Mm-hmm. Not in a bad way, but just like you're taking from me instead of giving. And if we all give in our roles and we have a great team set and we know where we're going, we can work together. That's great. We should be like that. We grew up together, so I should be. But if guys don't have defined roles and I have this giving back mentality all the time, I'm going to end up where I gave back to. Why don't you give it forward? Right? Like, give it forward. I have no issue helping, but, like, give it forward. Come with me. I seen a guy, I think it was Brandon Marshall, said this. He said he dealt with this as an athlete, right? And his family would always come to him for money.
Yep.
Yeah. And he's like, I know this should give you the money, but I need you to write out the business plan, write out what you're trying to do, make it clear to me. Boom. They said, nah, I just want the money. And I always thought about that because I seen this with my dad growing up. And I tried to never usually ask him for a lot because I always seen people ask him. And I'd be like, how do you do that? He'd be like, somebody asks for something in the family, I'd be like, give me the bill. So that way I know,
right?
If you really want help, you'll give me the bill. If you don't, you just wanted some money, you'll just say, nah, I'm cool. And unfortunately, if you're trying to go certain places, not everybody wants to, you know, go with you or are willing to, you know, do the steps to go. They want what they want. You got to pay for that.
But it's like when you make it, they go, we made it.
Yeah, which is true. I mean, you had a help in it. Like I feel like it's an obligation. Your parents helped you out. Do what you need to do to help them.
Parents, yes.
Yeah, coaches or something, help back. But like I'm not like binded to you or tied to you that I owe you this. Like, no, I owe you gratitude. I owe you the fact of this is what I did to get here. You can do this and whatever you want to do too. I owe you that. But to take care of you, bro, no, everybody got to carry their own load. Like, you have to. Like,
it's funny you say that because even in our space, like I built a sales team, and a lot of our guys made great income. Mm-hmm. We don't make pro athlete type of money, but some of the guys that we work with do. And it's even funny that even at our level, you'll have family members or you'll have people that come out of the woodworks that go, hey, man, do you remember when? And can I borrow something? Like, It is crazy. And that's one of the things that I wish people understood, that it doesn't just happen, you know, to like entertainers, pro athletes, whatever it is. If you got money, period, they're coming.
You know the mamas, the grandmamas, and where I see them all the time, where the whole family know we're going to go here to get it. We're going to go here to get it. And I had to learn that, even myself. I had to take that. That was part of my transition with my parents. Like, bro, it gets to a point where, like, you have to grow up. Like, you got, like I said, if you just work, you really don't got to ask for nothing if you're just willing to work.
Right.
You really don't. Now, there's sometimes, and think about this. I know you know this, Steve. You're willing to help out anybody that is really trying to move forward in something. But just helping somebody out that's not doing nothing, you like, bro, for what? That's a bad investment. Right. That's a bad seed. Why would I do that? And like I say this with like homeless people, there's a lot of people out there that have unfortunate things, and I'm not dismissing that at all.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, I never give to homeless unless a certain thing is up. I give you an example. A guy sitting outside of Chipotle all the time, and I learned this lesson. And he's sitting there always asking, and he know me as when I came through for lunch. One day he sees me, I said, "Man, you ever try to get a job?" And he was like, "Man, I tried to, but it's hard when you're homeless." And I thought about it, and I got a lesson from it. It's like, no, that's great. That's great that you caught the lesson. The lesson is this. He probably is right. It's probably hard to get a job with something. Once you sit him down and we break bread and you give to him while giving him this.
Right.
Talk to him. And then if he needs help again, do it again. Do it again. But I'm not about to give to you in the situation, and I know it's not beneficial. I can't determine what you do with it, but just need a beer. I'm not about to do that for you.
You're putting a
appreciate
Band-Aid.
the honesty.
You're putting a Band-Aid.
I'm putting a Band-Aid. I'm not
that's all it
helping
is.
you, bro. So that same thing in life, though. Got grandchildren, all you know them grandmas that be doing that. Like, if you don't let them dudes grow up.
But here's what's crazy, and I say this because like your dad was an NBA player. He's a lottery pick, played in the league for like 15 years. Like obviously, you kind of like you said, you watched people do that with him. Like, was it hard growing up? Because did you feel like you had to make it in the league?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I was trying to be better than you because I was trying not to embrace. I didn't meet my dad till I was 8.
Okay.
So I didn't meet him. So when I got to him, I didn't have that time. That I had it later, which was great, but I didn't have that security of like, this is my father, this is that. So I was always trying to prove who I am.
Right.
And so I didn't feel like, could he have probably paid for college? He probably could have. He probably could have paid for college. But in my mind, I didn't think he was going to. And the reason why I didn't think he was going to because, I don't want to say I got it off of him. Like,
right.
So in my mind, I got to go get a scholarship.
You got a chip on your shoulder.
That's how it was. And, yeah, but I seen how he carried himself. I did see how he carried himself.
Yeah, that's the craziest part is, I feel like you look at like LeBron, and you can look at Jordan. Yeah. Like his kids didn't make it in the league, and you're like, yo, it's cool that your dad is so and so, but like, damn, do you know how hard it is for that kid? Because everywhere they go, they get compared to. They have to live in their father's shadow, and that's why I'm like, I didn't have a really close relationship with my father. He didn't do anything special in this lifetime, anyways. But it was like I created my own route. Like a lot of times, it's very hard for you to go create your own route unless you go into a completely different industry.
It is
because if you're in that same industry, it's kind of like you said. You picked Wisconsin, and your dad's like, "You sure?"
Yeah.
No,
that's absolutely true. It's interesting you say it like that because it really should be. It really should be succession plans. Like it should be, okay, this is what I did. I can give you this to start. You can build upon it, or you can go on to something else. The best children are the ones like Steph. Like Steph, it wasn't hard for him being Dale's son. He just took the things from Dale that Dale gave him. I want to build upon it.
Right.
Everybody's like, well, you had it made. Well, technically, yes, but at the same time, no, because it was harder for me to have it to become a great when I had everything. Like, that's pretty impressive to become an all-time great when he had access to things. You hear about people becoming all-time greats that didn't have nothing.
They had a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, he had it. He just wanted to be great. He loved it. You know what I mean? So it's both ways. And
that's the thing is, like, a lot of times what I've noticed is, like, it has to be more than that. And what I mean by that is, like, it has to be more than the money. It has to be more than the championships.
Has to.
Like, if not, it's very hard to wake up.
Well, because you get to that point, you hit that point, and then what? Okay, I proved everybody that I'm the best. Okay, now what? I proved everybody that I won this championship. Okay, now what? So the best of the best, they're not chasing things. They're trying to become.
Right.
I'm trying to become great. Like Brady, he was always like, I'm not chasing after this person or that person. I'm trying to become the best version of me. And that's the thing in life. If I keep growing in life, there's always new levels. If I stop myself at a level, then that's it.
Right.
And that's tiring.
Yeah. I'm writing a book that's talking about the separation between good and great. And
okay, author Steve.
Okay. So in that, like, one of the things that I'm talking about is success. Like, so many people look at success as a destination.
Yes.
When I win this championship ring, I now become successful. If I make this dollar amount of money, I become successful. But like, you look at someone like a Kobe or Jordan, you look at these elite athletes. Like when I say elite, like the top 1%, like they were in the gym right after they won. Like they're in love with the daily grind. That's like, it's like what you said, it's who they became. It's that person, it's that identity shift. It's not just this destination they got to reach one time. It's this process of who they are now.
It's a lifestyle.
Right. So as we wrap up, and you know, I want to shoot some rapid fire questions at you. Whatever comes to your mind right away. Most favorite teammate and why?
I would say that's a great one. That's a great. I don't know if I can do rapid fire. I would say probably my guy Dre. Dre, we played together in Slovakia, and he was there for me at a time when I was going through life changes, and he was just, what you need, bro? Like, he was that type of guy, super chill, great guy. That's basketball teammate. Life teammate, I got too many to name.
I love that because when you said basketball teammate, it wasn't even about basketball. It wasn't like we clicked on the court. It was the stuff off the court, right?
Yep.
One book that helped you post-career?
I'll say, that's tough, Steve, because I had some books, bro. I had some great books. I'll say this. It's not necessarily a book that you can go buy, but it's a book that you can receive if you listen to the one who has it. Let me say it's like an oral book. The Laws of Love and the Laws of Life. I'll say that.
What's a slogan or a one-liner that you live by?
A little bit a day goes a long way.
Love it. Lesson from your biggest failure?
Failure means to quit, so don't quit.
One success tip to give to people that are listening?
Find the laws of love and the laws of life. Meditate on them day and night. Do what it says. Don't turn left to the right. Follow what it says to do, and you will be prosperous and successful in whatever you do.
I love it. And as we wrap up, if you could be remembered for one thing, what would it be?
That's a tough one, Steve. One thing that if I can remember for one thing, that he lived life like a son of God was supposed to be, and that he was successful in life like that. I would say that.
Traevon Jackson, everybody. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, my man. Thank you. Thank you, bro.